So think about it. My focus is creating an identity that I need to heal or therapy something. So then I find something to try to solve that. Now there are two intentions in the field. Or are you this? Are you a broken individual or are you fixed? Which one are you? Now, what's so cool about this is once you set the intention, you don't know how you are going to get that result. You must allow yourself to not know. This is so crucial. J.K. Rowling didn't know how she was going to write Harry Potter. We didn't know how we were going to create Wi-Fi or AI. We just knew that we would. If you want to truly pull in and arrive as a superconscious creator, you must stop wanting to know how. And what's so fascinating about this is this. I'm Chris Duncan, and this is Self-Made Millionaire. If you've done all the courses, meditated, journaled, healed your inner child, but are still feeling stuck, you're not alone. After helping thousands of driven entrepreneurs like you, I discovered the real shift isn't in fixing yourself. It's in creating from your superconscious. This podcast will help you to break the loop, stop oscillating, and finally build a business that gives you time, wealth, and true freedom without burning out. Let's dive in. The science behind superconscious reality creation and how to explode your business. I remember the moment I first heard the words superconscious. It came out the mouth of a billionaire who was telling me he would not invest in my business. Now, to paint the picture, I'm in this room in Austin, Texas, and I had presented my idea, a really good idea, to a room of his friends. He came up to me, super excited, enthusiastic, told me how much he loved my idea. I was full of hope. I could imagine my future where they gave me some money and I was going to go out and change the world with my new business idea. Also, at that time, I just had a massive crisis in my life and I wasn't doing very well. I was full of hope. He comes up to me, tells me how great my idea is, and then he says these words, "But Chris, I'm not going to invest in you and this business because of you. Your structure will mean whatever money I give you, it will disappear." He said, you need to stop fixing yourself. You need to learn to become super conscious and pull in new realities that have nothing to do with your past. He sent me on this journey to work with some of his top and most favorite coaches to teach me how to become intuitive using superconscious, to use my intention to create new realities. And he deeply ingrained in me this idea that most of personal development and self-help doesn't work. Even some of the best names out there. And you'll know them. You're going to their courses, you're attending their events, you're reading their books. The reason why a lot of their work doesn't actually help you is because of your unconscious intention. And they can't do anything about that. If your unconscious intention is to go into their seminar and change or break a habit or to remove an emotion or to hypnotize yourself, what is the intention that you're going with? The intention is that you believe there's something you must fix, change, or heal about yourself. This intention only continues to manifest it more and more and more. See, the power of your focus intention manifests. This power of intention has been proven to work. In fact, in Stanford right now, they're showing how higher states of emotion and intention can change the pH of water. And this is quite stunning to be able to prove this and to show this with the Heart Math Institute, being able to get people to high states of coherence and intention. It works. The biggest problem about trying to break the habit or fix a certain part of you is that's your true intention. And we've known this for around about 200 years. In fact, 200 years ago, this is a crazy experiment. You've all heard of it, probably. It's called the double slit experiment. If you haven't heard of it, Google it. This is such a well-known study. But I'll tell you a little bit about it. So Thomas Young created this experiment where he shot a photon, okay? And he shot this photon, which is the smallest unit of light. He fired this photon at a metal sheet that had a slit in it. Behind the metal sheet, he had photographic paper, okay? So as you'd expect, you fire the photon at the metal sheet. Behind it, you just see a line of where the light has gone through. Pretty simple. Then he added on the metal 2 slits. So now when you fired it through, it either hit the metal or went through one of the slits. As you'd expect, on the back, on the photographic paper, there were 2, light lines, vertical light lines of where the light had gone through. Now, here's what's fascinating. When they stopped observing or watching it, this is crazy, seriously. When they stopped watching or measuring it, something changed. On the photographic paper, instead of seeing two lines, all of a sudden they saw lined bands of light. Light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. This is 200 years ago. They didn't know why this was happening. What they hypothesized, and has now been proven over and over again, is that consciousness affects matter. When we observe it, consciousness behaves like firing a marble out of a gun. When we don't observe it, it goes to a cloud of possibilities and is more like a wave. So put it this way. Imagine you've got a fireman's hose and in front of you there's a fence and there's two slits in it. If you just hold the hose, some of the water is going to, hit the wood and others are going to go through the slits and you'd see two lines at the back. But if you wave the hose like this, as it goes through, it waves through and the water on the other side is going to come out in a different spray. That's exactly what they noticed. Now, that was 200 years ago. They've proven this over and over again. They've done it with electrons. Nassim Haramein, he's actually added something new, and he's from the Resonance Foundation. An amazing guy, by the way, doing awesome stuff. He thinks that you don't change the actual photon. He says that you change the field around the photon, which is what the superconscious is. Now, all of this is coming to let you know that your focus and intention changes matter. You are a focus point of intention. You can do your own research and find all of that. And how we do this is through a little collection of neurons at the back of your mind. It's called the reticular activating system. And this little stem of neurons is paying attention to what's important for you. So I take people out to Africa. We go on a soul safari. We do superconscious work out there. And when we're out there, we watch the animals and they're paying attention to what's important to them at any moment. They see us drive up and get close. By the way, it's full conservation. The only thing we shoot them with is an iPhone, right? We're there to see the animals, connect to our hearts, and really understand our true nature and purpose. By the way, you should come out to Africa with me at some point. We're buying this we're buying 100,000 hectares of land, and we're doing this amazing lodge. It's incredible. Anyway, you see what's important to the animal and you see what's important to us. This part of our system is always putting your focus in a certain place. And Stanford has proven this, that you have perception filters. In any moment, you cannot be paying attention to everything all at once. You are noticing what's important to you and you're creating your reality. See, people ask me all the time, say, Chris, what's the fastest way for me to start creating super consciously and to really change my life? And I look them straight in the eye and I let them know the truth. And the truth is amnesia. The truth is amnesia. To completely forget who you are. That's the truth. But most of us who have watched a movie or seen something about amnesia, let me know. Would you like to have amnesia? Is that something you'd be interested in? Like, I don't know about you, but it looks pretty disorienting to me. And so our unconscious doesn't want amnesia, right? It doesn't want to just forget everything. And so it's always knowing how it is. Here's how it is. And it'd be super unsafe if it didn't. And so you create your reality based on this. So just like the double slit experiment, the focus changes reality, but you have an unconscious program that is focusing and creating your reality. Then you, like I did before I met my billionaire coach, would go to a seminar or an event thinking that that was going to help. But actually, my unconscious focus was on this idea that I wasn't doing things the right way. So think about it. My focus is creating an identity that I need to fix or heal or therapy something, right? So then I find something to try to solve that. Now, there are two intentions in the field. So I go do some amazing work, some really heart-centered, awesome people that want to do great things. And their stuff doesn't work for me. Not because they didn't do anything good, but because my true intention, my true focus had collapsed the wave of possibilities into a certain outcome. Does that make sense? Do you get it? And so you create these two intentions. So your system doesn't know which one you want. Do you want healing or are you this? Are you a broken individual or are you fixed? Which one are you? And now Harvard and Stanford are catching up. However, what's great for you is that your brain is actually malleable. It has the way to let go of old connections and create a new way. In fact, there was a study done. These guys actually won the Nobel Prize in 2001 around a moment called the consolidation moment. Consolidation is when two neurons connect together and create a new neural pathway. It's phenomenal stuff. And so I named my process Recode after reconsolidation, after this moment, because there is a way for you to disconnect from your past instead of trying to heal it. And this is why it's so important what I teach, is that you must get into a true intention. You must learn to disconnect from who you've been and create new realities. And the science is catching up. Yet all of these great teachers, and you'll know them, they miss the point. People are going to their seminars, going to their courses, going to their workshops and reading their book with an intention to fix or heal themselves, which causes them to get more stuck. They get more stuck because energy follows the path of least resistance. If you've ever gone outside and you get electricity going down a wire. I don't know about you, but as a kid, I wondered why the electricity likes wires so much. Like, why does electricity go down a wire? And why is that? Why does it go down a copper wire? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why is that? What I thought is maybe electricity just likes wires. Truth is if it didn't have that plastic coating on the outside and I put my hand on it, you would find out that electricity likes humans a lot more than it likes copper wires. And so you would get all the energy, and obviously it's a really bad thing. And so the point is energy follows the path of least resistance. Okay, whatever is the least resistant way, it will go. And this is really crucial, so really get this. If you set an intention that you are going to get fixed, okay, that is where your energy is. I'm going to get fixed. I'm at this, I'm going to get fixed. The path of least resistance, once you do get healed or fixed, is to find the next thing that you need to get healed and get fixed, because you are an identity that needs fixing. So think about this. Energy follows the path of least resistance, and your intention creates that path. The path, put it a different way, is imagine water at the top of a hill. You know that because energy, as gravity is being forced on that water, it's going to flow down a hill. And you know if you put a boulder in front of that water, it will go around the boulder. The water will always follow the least resistant path till the bottom. It's forced down by gravity. Now, you're the same as that water. You will always follow the path of least resistance. If I walk you through a supermarket, you don't walk through the aisles and bang everything over. You go around and you follow the way that the structure is in that supermarket, right? You will always follow it. And so you're just like that water. You will always follow the path of least resistance. It just makes sense. So in your life, just like the water's life, you're always flowing to a certain end result. The water is pushed down by gravity. You are pushed down by time. Gravity is always there. Time is always moving. And yet, the way that you've set your intention, you keep flowing to find another thing that you need to fix. And this is what I started to realize, is that there's a different way to focus, and that I had been born into a wrong direction in life. And this billionaire was starting to shake me up. And he started to say, if I give you the money, I know how this is going to go. You are going to flow to that same path of having frustration, having a bad experience, and you're going to give it all away. And he knew it. And it was the best advice I ever got. Real quick, if you're a driven entrepreneur who's done all the work but still feels stuck, or like you're oscillating between progress and burnout, I've got something really powerful for you. I'm running a live training where I'll show you how to unlock your superconscious so you can finally create the freedom, wealth, and impact you're here for. Hit the link in the show notes to save your spot. And now, back to the episode. So what you must do as a business owner to really apply this is first create the right structure with a clear intention. You must give up trying to fix, heal, or change your current reality. And we do that through a meditation that gets you into innocence, letting go of how it is and just focusing on what you want. When you get this clear focus of how you would love it to be, that end result, that end of your structure creates a void, a space in the universe. Now, the universe abhors a void, okay? A vacuum. There cannot be nothingness. Like, for example, if I dig a hole outside, it'll get filled with leaves, stoves, a broken foot. Like, something will fill that hole up. If there's a hole, it will get filled. If we create this gap between what we want and where we are now, there's a gap, okay? And this gap will pull in intuitive genius wisdom. Now, what's so cool about this is once you set the intention, you don't know how you are going to get that result. You must allow yourself to not know. This is so crucial. Every big thinker, every true creator doesn't know how they're going to do it. J.K. Rowling didn't know how she was going to write Harry Potter, right? We didn't know how we were going to create Wi-Fi or AI. We didn't know how. We didn't know how we would get the light bulb or the washing machine. We didn't know how we would do it. We just knew that we would. If you want to truly pull in and arrive as a superconscious creator, you must stop wanting to know how. My billionaire coach said to me, he goes, Chris, every time you try to know how, you're based on the past. He said, you need to be okay of not knowing how. Once you set a clear intention and there's a void, be okay you don't know how. That not knowing how starts to pull in the wisdom from your highest mind. And what's so fascinating about this is this mind, this idea bank for humanity, seems to be something we're all connected to. Have you ever heard of the amazing occurrence of simultaneous invention? Did you know that, this is really wild. Did you know that the telephone was invented by two different men on different sides of the planet, and it was the exact same invention, looked exactly the same. They had no way to talk to each other because telephone wasn't even invented, right? Have a look at it. It was within 2 weeks of each other. It looks identical. It's phenomenal. And I'm from New Zealand, and many of you who aren't, you don't know this, but New Zealanders were the first to fly by about 3 weeks on the Wright brothers. I say this in Australia, and Australians tell me, no, there was someone in Australia. And then obviously we have the Wright brothers in the United States. And I'm sure as you listen to this, there's many others. The key thing is in the newspaper article that showed these New Zealanders flying, their plane looked identical to the Wright brothers. There's this information field that's bigger than you. When you set a clear intention, you open the void and you allow information to come through, you invoke this part of you that can shift reality. If you need to know how it's going to show up, you are just like that experiment and you're saying, this is how light should go through slits. You limit it, okay? So set a clear intention, open up the void, and then lastly, you must be it. You must take the action. You must go for it. You must be in that end result and follow through on any intuition you get. Because if you don't, someone else is going to invent the telephone, right? Someone else is going to do it. If you're getting inspiration, you need to follow through on that. So you need to take the action. You need to be it. You need to realize you're so much more than blood and flesh and bone. You're actually a super conscious being having a human experience. You must have a clear intention because you change matter. You change reality. Just as the double split experiment told us, just as the Stanford scientists are telling us, they let you know that your intention with that right coherence changes matter. So you must realize what your true intention is. You must get into that end result. You must realize that energy follows the path of least resistance, that you don't need to know how to do things, just what you want so you can pull in wisdom. If you do this, you'll create realities faster than you could ever imagine, and you will access your God-given manifesting powerhouse that you are. This is your truth. This is your true nature and purpose. So let me know under this video what it is that you loved the most, what really spoke to you on this session, and go and check out the science because all of this is backed and provable right now. It's just whether or not you're ready to hear it. Talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Bye for now. If you got value from today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss the real conversations and tools to help you break the cycle so you can create a business and life you actually love. If you're ready for more support, check out the link in the show notes. I'm running a live training where you'll learn how to unlock your superconscious and start scaling with purpose, profit, and peace. And don't forget to follow me on all socials at Chris M. Duncan. Remember, stop solving problems, start creating your future.